2016, Pueblo voted Clarice Navarro over Jason Munoz by 1,853 votes.
Okay. Jason?
Yes. If funding is so high in the state, why is our school districts failing here in Southern Colorado?
Okay. Rebuttal?
Are you asking me a question?
I posed the question. We're in a debate together. I was just wondering, if funding is so high, why is our school district failing?
The school districts have a spending problem and a priority issue. That is why.
54% to 46%. So Clarice Navarro, she got 13,895 votes versus Jason Munoz's 12,042 votes for State Representative District 47. Clarice. Hello, Clarice.
Again, I think it takes a representative who is going to talk to teachers, talk to those who are in the trenches to find the best solutions so that teachers can teach to our students and offer them the best opportunities to succeed.
Clarice, one more time.
Well, thank you. And being an educator, I've been in the classroom. I know how this works. I know how funding works, and I know what it's like to work there with the students and with the parents.
She beat Jason by 1,853 votes. Personally, I think it's a respectable loss because it showed that Jason gave her a run for money. And she is a horrible, despicable person. So she's probably happy about DACA being dissolved right now. I saw this video of her where a undocumented person confronted her and said, you want to deport me?
Yeah, I'm an undocumented Latino here from Colorado. So since you're supporting Trump and you're Hispanic for Trump, I just want to ask you, do you want to deport 800,000 DACA recipients?
I've asked you.
No, you're not answering my question. Do you want to deport DACA?
Don't. All the way around.
You want to deport DACA?
And then she just walks away and, makes it all awkward.
You're not answering my question. I'm asking you something. It's just a yes or no question. Do you want to deport 800,000 DACA recipients?
Thank you, Mr. Henson. And thank all of you for being here tonight. I'm State Representative Clarice Navarro, and I proudly represent House District 47, which includes Otero.
Do you want to deport me? Do you want to deport my family? I'm asking you something. Hey, Clarice, I'm asking you something.
So, Clarice Navarro, it just puts shivers down your spine just saying her name, Clarice Navarro.
Fremont and Pueblo counties. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Pueblo chieftain for hosting us this evening.
Clarice Navarro.
This is always an informative event, and what a great opportunity for you here and for you at home to be engaged before ballots go out. I'm especially thankful to the people of House District 47 for their continued support.
Clarice Navarro is on the phone. Clarice Navarro is at your door. She is rapping and tapping and rapping at your door.
I'm humbled and I'm honored.
Clarice Navarro.
To do good work on behalf of the people that have elected me to be your state representative.
You better get to bed early, kids, or Clarice Navarro is going to get you.
Throughout my time in the Colorado State Legislature, I have passed over 40 pieces of bipartisan legislation that has benefited our veterans, our kids, our farmers, our ranchers, our small businesses, and mental health.
Clarice Navarro. I don't know if I want to call her the devil, maybe El Diablo.
And I fought for transparency in our government. There's a lot more that could be said, but I wanted you to know, and you at home to know.
Right. But I don't want to call her El Diablo, the devil, any of that. She might put a curse on me, And
I work hard each and every day to be your state representative. It's an honor to be here tonight, And I look forward to sharing with you my voting record. It's something that I'm very proud of. I operate off of core values like hard work, integrity, and smaller government. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to serving you for another 2 years.
I'm sure she's not a witch, you know. What? No. No, she's not. Really? Huh.
I'm Jason Munoz, and I want to serve you as a Pueblo City Councilman.
Here's Jason Munoz making his announcement, his campaign announcement to run for City Council of Pueblo at large, one of the 2 at-large seats.
It's my belief that this town, Pueblo, Colorado, has great potential to become a premier community to live, work, and play.
He seems really good, right? He's polished and poised. He seems primed and polished. He's got his own microphone, his own speaker. He has supporters. He also is coming off of his loss, but his respectable loss against Clarice Navarro.
If we do the right things now and in the not-too-distant future. Pueblo has seen some pretty tough times, and we have persevered. Our best days are still ahead of us, and we are just as tough as the nails my grandparents produced at the steel mill. I see that we have our fair share of problems. I don't pretend to think that everyone's life here is honky-dory, there's honky-dory, there's honky-dory.
Honky-dory? Honky-dory. Oh, I see that little, little epithet slipped in there, Jason. You call me honky? Is that what you're doing? It's not honky, it's honky. Like he's a hunk, honky-dory. Hunk-key. Not honky.
There's honky-dory, there's honky-dory, there's honky-dory.
What's next? You gonna call me a cracker? Huh? You gonna call me white bread? You gonna call me guano?
There's honky-dory.
But to be honest with you, hunky-dory is the title of some minstrel show, so it actually, that phrase could be racist. So maybe calling it hunky-dory as a way to take the power back. Is that what you're doing? Jason Munoz for City Council?
If we're going to be successful, we need to be creative and have bold ideas. One of my bold ideas is to improve our infrastructure. To be more specific, by making Pueblo a city-wide Wi-Fi hotspot.
Some things I extrapolate from his opening speech. His main idea, his best idea, and it's a great idea, it might be the vision, it might be the idea that gets him into the White House, is the Wi-Fi hotspot. So the Wi-Fi hotspot for the entire city. He wants the entire city to have Wi-Fi. It's a brilliant idea.
Thank you. We can do our part to bring good, high-paying jobs in the technology industry to Pueblo by providing people with high-quality internet access anywhere you are in town. If Pueblo is on course to go 100% green, we should also be 100% Wi-Fi.
When he was talking about blight, I didn't really like how he was talking about transients. He was sitting there saying that there's some blights that invite squatters and transients.
Sky-high electricity bills, and too much blight in our neighborhoods. Blight that brings down property values and invites squatters and transients in. And I looked up transients, and transients is just somebody, on their way through. So what I don't like about him using the term transients is that that's a throwaway group. That's a scapegoat. You could put all your hatred, if you're bourgeoisie, upper echelon, just put all your hatred on the damn transients. So are the transients the new Jews? Are they the new scapegoats here in Pueblo City? And when he says transients, does he actually mean marijuana migrants? Because marijuana migrants would be different. Now, wouldn't it? Again, I think I'm running for City Council to leave a better Pueblo for my son and all of our youth to be proud of, and hopefully one day they will make improvements to community or to Pueblo for future generations. I love this town. I really do.
He doesn't sound too genuine and authentic. He sounds like kind of a fake politician in a way.
ones that, Donald Trump is a shitty person, but when he speaks, I can hear him. I cannot hear Hillary Clinton. So when he had mentioned, I really do, when he says, I love Pueblo, I really do.
I love this town. I really do. I love this town. I really do.
I mean, he should have, put a little stake on it, right? He should have been like, God, I love Pueblo. Oh, from the time I was a child, when I was playing on the playground, when I was in high school, playing with my friends, when I was, get into it. So, I love Pueblo. I really do. Do you?
I love this town. I really do.
And then when he mentioned the Wi-Fi program, everybody started clapping, and he was just kind of like, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Don't take your audience for granted. It might seem weird. I mean, at any moment you could just go off script. But, read the whole sentence. Read the whole sentence and get the entire idea out there. Because the Wi-Fi idea is brilliant. It's brilliant. And since you're a Democrat, just, let us see that you care. Just let us see that you care. There was a little bit of elitism, too. And also, he's kind of kissing ass to big business. And government and big business, government is the entity that stands up to big business. Sure, you want to be a cheerleader and bring some big business in here, but once they get here, they need to act properly. They need to act right. And we need a high standard of living. We need to be like Denmark. Denmark, they can do capitalism and they do socialism better. Both of them. They do both socialism and capitalism better.
Jason, the question's a little bit different for you. Do you believe that Representative Navarro has been a successful legislator, and what type of bills would you want to sponsor if elected?
Thank you, Steve. The answer to the first question is no. I'm sure Representative Navarro is a very nice lady, but her efforts in the legislature, or lack thereof, show.
The reason why Denmark is ranked the happiest country in the entire world is because they have a high standard of living. The reason why rich people and rich companies go to Denmark is because they have a large workforce, a large educated workforce, and they have lots of green spaces, and it looks like a nice place to live. So rich people have to live someplace too. But having a robust middle class is how you have a strong economy. A robust middle class is how you have a strong economy.
As I understand it, we will have an option to take an off-ramp in 2020. I think we need to take a very close look at this and see if we can make it work.
Having a strong middle class should be the aim. By having a strong middle class and a high standard of living, and by having an educated population, that's how you're going to get the better businesses. That's how you're going to get the reputable industries into Pueblo City. But that shouldn't be our main aim. That shouldn't be the only thing that we're focused on, because if we're only going to focus on big business, what about us? What about developing ourselves? What about entrepreneurs and startups, What about entrepreneurs starting up and just doing their own thing, starting their own business? I mean, are we just dependent upon some Japanese company to come in here and offer us employment? Why can't we create the companies? Why can't we employ ourselves? Why can't we figure this out?
But I will promise you that I am committed to participating in these tough conversations that need to happen.
Like I said before, having a robust middle class is how you have a strong economy, and the way you get these, reputable businesses in here is by having a strong, educated workforce. So education. And, not just the state university or the community center. What about vocational? We can't forget about vocational. Vocational is actually how everything gets built, right? An entire house gets built by somebody's hands. Somebody has to build these houses. Somebody's got to put these cars together. I would say technology. Why don't we be the Silicon Valley? We're already the Napa Valley for marijuana, so just get Silicon, Napa Valley. Let's get all these valleys and put it all in one, right? One Pueblo to the top of the mountain. So he said it several times when he was talking about electricity rates. He was talking about high electricity rates would be bad for job creators.
Let's create more economic opportunity by embracing and promoting our rich arts and culture community. By offering more programs and incentives for artists and businesses to produce and thrive, we will see a positive uptick in commerce. I'd like to see more galleries, studios, theaters, and I'd love to see an opera take root here in Pueblo. Because when a community invests in itself and nurtures an artistic identity, other reputable industries will take notice and hopefully bring better paying jobs. Public safety is also a very important issue that needs to be addressed. The bottom line is that our crime rates are just too high. I wonder how many quality businesses have considered opening shop here and hiring local workers for good paying jobs, but were discouraged because of what our crime statistics look like.
He said that Wi-Fi, which would be great for the public, is great for businesses. So again, it seems almost like he's more business oriented. He just wants to bring corporations in here, but are they going to just use us as cheap labor? Well, what about the poverty? What about, the poor people? What about homeless people?
We can do our part to bring good, high-paying jobs in the technology industry to Pueblo by providing people with high-quality internet access anywhere you are in town.
When he talks about Black Hills Energy, he doesn't say anything at all. He says he'll consider the off-ramp for 2020 and that he'll look at it closely, right? Kind of like Trump is. He's going to look at things. We're going to be looking at this, we're going to look at that, we're going to be looking at things.
As I understand it, we will have an option to take an off-ramp in 2020. I think we need to take a very close look at this and see if we can make it work. Again, I think.
Well, that doesn't really tell me where you stand, okay? He says you're going to look at the Black Hills contract, whereas Mark Aleph says, oh, fuck that contract. He doesn't want it, and he's a conservative.
One idea I have is to make a priority is having more productive options for our kids to do after school, on the weekends, and over summer break.
Well, I think it's important to make sure that the children here of Pueblo during the summer months and the evenings have, extracurricular activities doing this and doing that. They need something to do. I think the adults need something to do too.
This will take time, effort, and community involvement, but I think we can do some really good and constructive things for our youth to take part in, and the goal here is to keep them safe and guide them to make better informed decisions.
So that's why I would, a gym, I think a gymnasium or a sports center, a sports complex. I'm not sure if you have one or not. I don't know where it's located, but, every neighborhood needs one. So let's get a couple of gyms. So that way the adults, that's a good spot for adults to congregate, working on our pecs and strengthening our bodies and our minds and our souls. And then the last thing, and this one really actually did get under my skin.
And I'd love to see an opera take root here in Pueblo.
He's sitting there saying he believes this and he believes that, and he was talking about arts, and he was saying, well, maybe we can get ourselves an opera.
And I'd love to see an opera take root here in Pueblo.
What about the fucking homeless? I want to go to the homeless shelter, actually, and ask them, is that the biggest problem you think Pueblo is faced with? We don't have an opera. Is that your number one concern, the lack of an opera? I mean, yeah, you're starving every day, but, why not listen to a fat lady sing, right? That's what we need. We need a fat lady singing here in Pueblo City. That's going to change everything. That's going to turn everything around. Your opera idea is a fucking dumb idea. It's the elitist idea. What are you going to have? Caviar? You're going to have cruise lines on top of it? You're going to have some gray poupon, right? You're going to have gray poupon and then just have your pinky up in the air, just always talking down about, oh, the poor, the inferior poor, oh.
Jason?
Steve, could you please repeat the question?
Sure. Do you believe the legislature needs to work on improving state laws regarding marijuana? And what exactly do you believe needs to happen?
Well, I think that the rest of the state can look at Pueblo and our high regulations and take a note from us here. I think we've done a really good job at regulating the industry.
So I'm glad that he's in favor of Wi-Fi. I think it's a strong idea. I still think that Sweden's trash to electricity program/company would be a good idea too, because if you start your own company, then you're making profits, you're making money the traditional way. You're not taxing, right, so-called stealing. You're providing a service and people are paying you for that service and you're doing such a good job at that, you're actually making profits. So when then taking our trash and then turning it into electricity, what's the hate about that? That's the Back to the Future shit. Taking trash, right now we're just burying it into the ground, right? And we're just, tons and tons of garbage into the ground. Yeah. Is there no environmentalists? Are there no environmentalists here? We're just putting tons and tons of garbage into the ground. Yeah, that's a great solution there.
Have a very diverse House district, and you have to be very thoughtful in the bills that you run to make sure that everyone will benefit from those bills.
Clarice Navarro.
Now, when I'm elected, I absolutely will have a number of bills that I'd like to run. Most importantly, I'd like to find funding for education, and not just funding, but equal funding for our school districts here in 47 and across the board. I'd also like to see some bills and work get done to improve our infrastructure, our transportation, and of course, keeping the water in the Arkansas River Valley Basin.
So I do think that there should be a public option. They should buy a gas station. Just buy one of each industry, right? Especially your essential industries, your gas stations, your grocery stores. Water, I think we own the Bessemer pipeline, right? The Bessemer water, there's 32% interest. We own that water.
When it comes to mandates, I would have a mandate supporting working families. There's too many struggling families. There's too many at the top, at the 1%, who are just gaining all of this wealth, and it's not trickling down. So I would take a mandate in supporting working families.
Jason?
Well, I would love to go on the attack here. I'll just talk about why I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. She is the most experienced, knowledgeable candidate that we have. There has never been a more qualified person than her.
Rebuttal? Okay. Part of the state.
Well, it definitely takes a representative who's willing to listen to the other side and find compromise to find reasonable solutions to these problems. As I mentioned, there's there's a funding inequality that our school districts in this state have, and it's absolutely not fair that students in District 47, Otero County, Pueblo, and Fremont counties are not receiving the same opportunities and funding that the students in Cherry Creek and Boulder are receiving. So as a representative, I will be a vocal advocate, and I will fight every day to see that we get our fair share of the pie here in Southern Colorado.
I think that the water company, they seem to do a pretty good job. Water's pretty clean and seemingly inexpensive. They keep tacking on these taxes, though, which have nothing to do with water. You want to buy our water? All right, sure. Now pay for our sewage system. Now pay for our roads. But I just wanted water. We don't care. Pay for our roads.
Well, again, I have been successful in passing over 40 pieces of legislation that has impacted the lives of House District 47. I have passed legislation that has reduced rigorous regulation on our small businesses. I have passed legislation that has lessened the taxes on the taxpayers. Thank you.
Rebuttal?
I just want to make one note. Representative Navarro suggested that she's been an advocate for water, and I just wanted to know where she was on the Rain Barrel bill, which had bipartisan support, and even the Farm Bureau was in support of that. So I'm not sure where she was on that one.
So are you not sure, or are you asking me how I voted?
I don't know. Where were you?
So you haven't researched my record?
Well, did you want to respond beyond that?
I'm fine.
Okay. Anything else? All right. Jason, you'll answer this one first. We all know that our local public schools are...
Absolutely, it's important to be talking with law enforcement on how to help solve this problem. But that cannot be the only way we do it. We have to talk to our neighbors. We have to talk to the facilities that see these crime rates come in, to see the horrible things that happen day to day in our neighborhoods. I grew up on the east side. I had a loving family who supported and helped me, but that's not the case for so many children there. So many children there, they don't have enough money to be able to eat lunch. The point is that law enforcement is one portion of the equation, and we have to look at all angles possible.
Clarice Navarro.
I have worked with the Pueblo delegation and other legislators on ways to find how we can fund it, how we can make it sustainable, and I've had a very intriguing meeting with Sarah Cummings, who is the new director, and her ideas are phenomenal, and I can't wait to get started working with her on those.
Clarice?
Thank you. And unfortunately, my opponent isn't aware that Colorado is funded its education at the highest that it's ever been. In order to help disparities, I think we have a difference of opinion on how we do that. But what we need to start with is the unfunded mandates. We have to start with less regulation. We need to allow our teachers to teach. And Common Core is an absolutely disaster.
Clarice Navarro.
Representative Navarro suggested that she's been an advocate for water, and I just wanted to know where she was on the Rain Barrel bill, which had bipartisan support, and even the Farm Bureau was in support of that. So I'm not sure where she was on that one.
So are you not sure, or are you asking me how I voted?
I don't know. How did? Where were you?
So you haven't researched my record?
Well, did you want to respond beyond that?
I'm fine.
Okay. Anything else? All right.
We need to allow our teachers to teach. And Common Core is an absolutely disaster. We have a tremendous amount of overregulation in every industry. In business, in small business, locally, federally, at the state level. We have to be able to reinvest into our own communities. And the only way that we can reinvest into our own communities is fewer taxes. We need to allow our teachers to teach. And Common Core is an absolutely disaster.
Clarice Navarro.